Sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's green where you water it, and we water the grass here.
Tell us what it was like being at the dunk last night.
That was the most chaotic environment I've ever been in my life.
Friar Town is Title Town tonight.
Here's Pip, guarded by Gillespie. Steps back, spins, fires. Woo! Pip gets.
Who run shit like me? Top 5 basically. I still play for keeps. Ain't no fantasy. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Divine Providence. This is episode 37. We are in season 2 of the show. The boys are coming off a nice win against URI. In-state rival URI. They earned the hard hat back. Stefan Vaaks put the team on his back, and we got a nice little W. The boys were in the building getting some content. Yeah, they had a night afterwards. I don't know if Mac even has a voice today. So let me kick it over to him. Let's test it out. Mac, how you feeling today?
Yeah, no, long weekend for sure. But listen, the Friars are right back on track. My voice sounds way worse now that I'm like stretching these sentences along. But the Friars are all the way back. Maybe not all the way back, but they looked good in the second half against URI yesterday. Mike and I had a little knee-jerk reaction video we put out. Some underlying issues that we've talked about for weeks now are still there. You're still leaving wide open threes in transition. Rhode Island had, two guys that were just chewing us apart from three yesterday. Rebounding still an issue, but it was a great second half, and, some of the guys caught fire.
Yeah, just a heck of a day at the Amica Mutual Pavilion. Of course, as always, Leb, we wish you were there. But just a great day in Providence for this in-state rivalry. It felt good to have a packed building again. The beginning of the game was tough. The Boo Birds were out. I'm sure people have saw some of the comments from Stefan Vaaks. He wasn't too thrilled with the crowd, but it was just a really tough start to the game, especially for such a big game like that. But hey, they battled out of it. Vaaks went crazy. The building was absolutely rocking during that stretch. It was an absolute blast to be in the building. Second half, the defense I thought was great. I thought Duncan Powell was great in the second half. Clearly needed him in some of these non-conference games before that we lost to have just a bigger body in there. But yeah, overall, it felt good to get a win against URI, and hopefully they can keep this thing rolling here. And I think the cream is starting to rise to the top here as far as a clearer vision for Kim as who's going to get most of these minutes going forward here.
Yeah, I think that was really the key, is finding the right balance, finding the right rotation, finding the right guys. And whenever you can beat a top, whatever it is, I mean, URI coming in was a top, 75 team in the net. Whenever you can beat a team like that by 19, it's never going to be perfect. I obviously, I think we're past that point with this team of looking for perfection, but we don't need perfection. We just need a little bit better on defense than what we've seen. And they did. I mean, they did provide that in the second half. First half, obviously a little bit rough, but it all worked out, and it was a fun day. And now, this is really the viewpoint you get from on Divine Providence. See, Mac has no voice. All right. That just goes to show this is evidence of going out on a Saturday on a little, 12 o'clock game, drinking all day. I mean, this is what you get on this show. This is authenticity.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, you're hearing the product of diehard fandom and a lot of alcohol. But you guys mentioned the rotations. How about Oswin? What did he play? 33 minutes yesterday?
Yeah.
That was I think I was at the beginning of the game at like the 16-minute mark. I'm like, this is usually when Cole Hargrove checks in. Cole Hargrove was not very active, I guess is the word. Didn't check in until late second half. Not a lot of Cole Hargrove, but the fact that Oswin could stay on the court for that long, I mean, you guys mentioned the defense looked good. That's got to be a big part of it. He's your anchor.
6 blocks for Oswin, 4 for 5 from the field, 10 points in 33 minutes. I thought he was awesome. Once they were able to start working the ball down to him, he was kind of able to do whatever he wanted for a while, and he was then drawing, multiple defenders on him, and then he had other guys cutting the basket. You cut it to them, there's going to be an open guy there, so he's definitely going to be a threat down low, like always. And Pinnis ended up getting off the bench first. He had 2 minutes. He didn't do much, but he's out there. He's learning more, so it's good to see him getting minutes in a big game like this. Cole Hargrove only 3 minutes, but I said it before, but Duncan Powell 18 minutes, and Kim even said it. It's great to have another big body back, and he said he could even be working him into the 5 role going forward. He said he doesn't know any of the set plays yet, so they're going to start working him into that 5, if they need him. So look out for that going forward. And then I just want to talk about Jameer Jones, 23 minutes. This guy was 7 for 7 from the field with 18 points. This guy is an absolute dog. Even the video I got of him going to the basket, he's fumbling the ball in the middle of traffic, then picking it up and then taking 2 steps and slamming it on URI's big man. Like the athletic abilities of this guy, and everybody saw it on TNT yesterday. I wanted to talk about that too. I just watched a replay of the game this morning, and it felt big. Like they had the pregame show with Chris Webber, Bruce Pearl, Jalen Rose. Who was calling the game? Who's the color commentator? Greg? Is that Greg Anthony?
Not sure.
That's the
what's his name?
He does like a lot of football.
He's a big name. You had Andy Katz. He was sideline reporting, who said he lives in Newport, Rhode Island. I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
Andy Katz.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
But I thought the TNT broadcast, it made the game feel big, and it was great to have, that rivalry on a big stage, and they were really pumping up the URI PC rivalry. So I thought that was cool.
Definitely. I was watching from home, and it's tough because from my perspective, obviously, I haven't watched many home games from the couch in years, but I was like, are all the 12 o'clock, primetime games kind of have this vibe to it? Because it did feel very big. I mean, obviously Chris Webber is unlistenable. He's absolutely dreadful, but Jalen Rose is phenomenal. And Bruce Pearl is really not that bad. Say what you want about Bruce Pearl, but he's really not that bad. Chris Webber has no idea about anything about college basketball today.
He picked URI, by the way. Chris Webber did.
Right. That was
Exhibit A.
He had no reasoning for it other than I'm going with the underdog. Okay.
Yeah, going the underdog, yeah.
Bruce
cool. Pearl and Rose both picked PC.
Right. And they had actual reasonings. Jalen Rose really liked Jalen Sellers. He really liked Jason Edwards, Back to what you were saying about Vaaks and Jones, though. More importantly, both of these guys are doing things on the court that we just don't see at Amica Mutual Pavilion. And for them to be freshmen, I mean, Jameer athletically doing things that we haven't seen, and then Vaaks, offensively, just with his skill set. And man, it's just so fun to watch when they're both dialed in.
I was talking to Mike about this because I think previously we've talked about how in certain situations, Jameer might not be necessarily the right, the right matchup. He might not be playing well. He's hot, cold. Ryan Mila had a very off night yesterday, and I think I'm starting to notice that we have 4 or 5 guys where it's depending on the matchup, you either look like an All-American or you're kind of behind the 8 ball, looking a little slow. And I feel like it's matchup dependent, and that's gonna be on Kim to dictate in the first half. All right, who's playing well tonight, who's not. And I do really think it's just a matchup based thing because we've seen these flashes from Ryan Mila where he looks like a stud. You see a game like Jameer Jones had yesterday, and then it could be the complete opposite Tuesday against Brown or Saturday against Butler. So it's interesting, and I feel like Kim's got to go into a game being hey, depending on this matchup, you might play 6 minutes, you might play 28. Like, it's just really like on the fly.
Leb, I think you had it on a tweet, and I think that is the best five. Who was it? You have Sellers, Vaaks, Jones, Powell, Oswin.
Exactly.
I think that's your strongest five.
I think so. I definitely think so. I love what Edwards can bring offensively, but I do feel that he can disrupt the flow a little bit. And I don't think it's a bad thing for him to embrace the role of like instant scoring off the bench and just be like the best sixth man in the league. Like, why is
saying? Like, I mean, if you have that, if you have that five out there, and then a couple guys are struggling, and all of a sudden you probably your best scorer then coming off the bench, like that's pretty solid.
It is. I really like that lineup. It's big. It's athletic. Then you have a ton of rebounders. The thing is, the rebounding issues on this team are going to be solved by Sellers, Jones, and Powell crashing the boards. Oswin, you can't really expect him to do much more. At this point, he is what he is. I think he's a very good big man. I don't think he's a very good rebounding big man. But these guys, those three guys can rebound the basketball. And they need to crash the boards and gang rebound. You know, I coolly preach that. The gang rebounding. Like, everyone crashed the boards. Maybe the only one that shouldn't be is Vaaks. Like, let Vaaks maybe start to get out in transition. But everyone else, just crash the boards, man.
And that lineup, that five you gave, Leb, was that you gave a little hard hat knock right there?
Yeah, that's rebounding for you.
Hell yeah. That five you listed, that could sneaky be like our death lineup. The shortest player you listed is Jalen Sellers, who's 6'5".
Yeah.
So, I mean, you talk about a lineup full of bullies who, when you need some boards, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah. And I also, speaking about Vaaks, within the 4 threes he hit, it was like the third time down. He played unbelievable defense to disrupt the whole entire play to then get the ball back. I think his defense has been improving game by game. He's sticking with this guy. He's sliding his feet. I think his agility is awesome. So that has stood out to me for sure. And then going back to the gang rebounding, which is great, but I feel like sometimes we have like three guys going for the ball at the same time, and like our guys are crashing into each other, and then like the ball's tipping off of them, and then someone's getting a loose ball for the other team. So I don't know if that's just me who's noticed that. I mean, it looks like there's always like 9 guys going for the ball at once.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a stat padding thing or so, like or maybe it's just like I think I have the best ability to go up and get this rebound, but I mean, guys are just running into each other. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I think it's a stats thing. I think that's just the day and age we play in, and you got to live with that. And just like Edwards, you know, like I mean, Edwards had like 3 points with, I don't know, 15 minutes left, and then he ended up finishing with like 18 or something like that. Like
he had 13 points. He was 5 for 11 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3.
But he ended up, you know, volume shooting a lot and disrupting the flow because it seemed like he kind of wanted to get his points. And I listen, I get it. You're a scorer. That's what you do. You want to get your points. But, you know, it seemed like it kind of disrupted the flow a little bit. And that was in the second half. The game was almost already out of reach. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But you can't, you know, put stats over team, you know, try to get the job done.
Totally. And you know what else I love seeing? We're up by like 20 at the end of the game, and Edwards included. We had guys diving on the floor for loose balls with like 2 minutes left. I think a message was sent from Kim about that kind of stuff too, and I think the guys are definitely responding to that. That shows that these guys care. If you're diving on the floor and putting your body on the line when you're up by 20 at the end of the game, like they're trying to prove a point here, and I think that's great.
Definitely, 100%.
So obviously we got Shagman back in the fold yesterday. I think he brings a completely new level to what this team can do. Kim, I think, ran a line. We talked about the Oswin 33 minutes or whatever, but I think there was a little stretch where You had some Duncan Powell minutes at the 5, Jameer Jones minutes at the 4. Little pseudo small ball lineup. But it's the versatility that we talked about with having a Bryce Hopkins last year. And that's not to say Duncan Powell is like this first team all Big East type of player, but the versatility of having a true 4 who can step out, hit some shots, but can also bang down low, no Diddy. It's the versatility that you need. And it's because for a bulk of the season, it's been we're running out true 5s and wings. And there's no real middle ground. And I think Duncan Powell kind of bridges that gap.
And Kim said it in the post-game presser yesterday, exactly what the injury was. It was somebody was going to box out Powell, and the back of their head slammed into Powell's face hard, knocked teeth out. And the reason why it was pretty hush-hush, you didn't hear from him, was it was a concussion. So it was not only you get your teeth knocked out, but he had a bad concussion. It sounded like he tried getting on the bus. I wasn't sure if he tried getting on the bus to go to the airport to San Diego or some sort of bus ride, and he ended up wanting to get off because he was really nauseous. So he couldn't, really like ride in a car for a little bit. And so he ended up staying back with the team. And Kim said he was really engaged even when he was home. He was, sending Kim plays and he was texting him what he's seeing in the game. And Kim even said it. I think it was good for him to kind of take a step back and look at things kind of macro and kind of look at the game and what they can and can't do. So could have been a blessing in disguise. Obviously, you don't want a guy to get hurt or anything like that, but who knows? Maybe he has a better feel for kind of what Kim is trying to do overall by being, out for a bit and kind of taking a step back and looking at things.
I think,
I'm sorry.
I think the mindset too, you when you miss some time and you see your teammates play, you kind of learn to not take it for granted. Like, I want to be out there. I do want to give it my all. I want to give it 100%. And I mean, that's what all you need out of these guys is just 100% effort and dedication.
Yeah. And Mike, you mentioned the kind of Powell being able to zoom out and kind of almost survey what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all remember he started the season pretty slow, like, shooting the ball, kind of finding his role.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what he needed. And like you said, maybe it is a blessing in disguise. I had one of my buddies text me probably halfway through the second half saying like, oh, like what the hell? Like Powell has like 2 points. Like he's slow. And I think the impact of having Powell back has almost nothing to do with scoring.
Yeah.
Like every other facet that you need. Like we've complained about the defense. We've complained about the rebounding. Shag can do that. I would be totally okay if Shag never scored another point for this team, but he brought defense and rebounding every night because you have more than enough scores.
But I think that could be a cherry on top at some point once he finds his flow. This guy is red hot from the corner. That's why they call him the corner man. Like I forgot what his red area was when I was looking at it before the season from last year with Georgia Tech. He was shooting at an insane clip from the corner. So like if we can get this guy going from over there, then now we're really cooking with gas with Powell.
He's going to spread the floor a lot. So even if he's not necessarily putting up points and knocking down threes, he's going to force the defense to cover him in the corner or on the wing. Mm-hmm. It seems like he does find himself open a lot of times in those situations. There was a couple of times where, every time he was in the game, he did have the ball in a shooting position, more so on the wing yesterday rather than the corner. But I think that if you can spread the floor a lot, you got to open up the defense a little for Oswin and for some of these guys to drive a little bit. If you want, Corey Floyd to be productive on offense, which I thought he had a good day, you do have to kind of open up the floor for him a little bit. Too much congestion, and some of these guys aren't going to get to the hoop.
For sure. Mike, I keep going back to the video you posted after the Fairleigh Dickinson game, and I laugh every time because I love your kind of reaction. We were kind of standing on the baseline as the team was heading back into the locker room, and breaking Divine Providence news.
Yeah.
Duncan Powell said, Yeah, but yeah, pretty much. Honestly, I do think a lot of people were scared that Powell was, you know, what was his status going to be long
Right.
term. But we were yelling at Shag, and he's like, "I'll be back." And the video, I don't know why, your reaction kills me every time. Mike just looks at the camera and goes, "Breaking news, just talked to Shag, man." He said, "I'll be back."
Dude, Mike's so funny when the camera's on.
I'll be back.
He just can't turn it off. Not even like
I'm just me. I'm just me. What you see or whatever the content is, you guys can attest to it. I'm always authentically myself. I'm never somebody I'm not.
No, I thought that
No,
was
it was
so.
just
I
funny.
thought that was so.
It was funny. It was like the almost like reporter tone of voice. It was like, "Breaking news, just talked to Duncan Powell." He said, "I'll be back."
Yeah, not even like a positive reaction. Not even like all right, let's go. Like, did you guys hear that? Like, just like just talk to Duncan Powell right there.
That's what like a news reporter would do in like the '80s. They would just like do a stand up in the middle of the court.
Yeah.
But then you had a bunch of trolls too, like chirping to that, being like, "This guy sucks," this and that. It's like, let the freaking games play out, man. Don't be so freaking negative. There's been so much negativity going around with this team, and I know things have been frustrating, but like, let's just let the games play out here. And it's showing you now. I think yesterday is a reason why you do have to be patient. And I know that we can be impatient around here, but I think we might turn the corner here. I'm not saying we're going to go on this crazy run and beat UConn and St. John's, but I feel good after yesterday. I'm feeling really good.
Me too. Me too. And shame on the people that didn't give Duncan Powell a chance after he, missed a couple games. Like the Bryce Hopkins situation, I understand it was very frustrating. I understand it was very, poisoning, and it made us all a little jaded and scared. But that's a very, very rare scenario where someone is going to intentionally sit out, a whole season in hopes they get another year. It's very, very rare, I think, and I think that you can probably, have some faith in most of these guys to not do that. So if you were in that camp, kind of yucky. I don't know.
Yucky stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about so far in this episode, like the reasons why it's good to have him back. He's gonna find a groove. He's gonna have some games where he pops off, hits a couple threes in a row, shades of Stefan Vaaks from yesterday, which I definitely want to get into that. But yeah, it does feel like this team's turning a corner, and I do feel like it would be the most Friars thing ever to get us all riled up, and then the following Saturday, big game, just the air punched out of you. But we're not gonna think like that. Last episode, I said, let's beat URI, and then we'll reassess the vibes. And I think the vibes are much higher than they were a week and a half ago after Feast Week.
Yeah, the vibes. So I got the video that Avid did. I got it up on my Twitter right now, and the one shot of me, like I was going crazy all game. The one shot Avid got of me, I'm sitting there not smiling, like pissed off. The reason why that is because that's when they were playing the Taylor Swift song. And then Mac was just like singing along, and I'm just like, I'm not getting fired up to this Taylor Swift. I absolutely refuse. But then you get the other clips of Mac being like, it's like going crazy. You did a great job with that. Shout out to him. That was awesome.
No one can kill Mac's shine. Nothing can bring him down. He's just a happy guy.
The Taylor Swift thing was interesting. Leb, obviously you weren't in the building, but they did bring back Taylor Swift. The issue was, and the game day experience, kind of in arena experience, has been a little off this year, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
There was like a contest, like right out of the timeout. I think they did the shoe shuffle, and then like a word from our sponsors, and then okay, well now we're gonna do Taylor Swift right as they're coming out of the timeout. It's got to be straight out of the timeout. You play that music. I saw people talking about that on Twitter yesterday. There's almost a science to it. Like I think Jameer had a slam to go into a timeout, like at like the 8 or 10 minute mark, and the crowd erupted. Like, that's the perfect time to do it. You're up like 12, 15, and boom, right into it. Get the crowd going for that final push. But yeah, I'm super pro Taylor Swift, and I Mike, we're gonna get you to turn the corner eventually.
I'm telling you right now, I never will. I hate being that guy, but I'm just like, I can't get excited to that, and I can't fake it. I can't fake it. If that's what everyone wants to do, that if that's what's gonna get them going, then fine, do your thing.
That's
Not for me.
Yeah, that's the side that I'm on. Like, I don't hate that song personally. You know, I don't like it, but I don't hate it. I don't think we shouldn't play it. I don't really care what we play. I don't care if we play, you know, like, fucking Cotton Eye Joe. Like, if it gets people fired up, then play it, you know. And I think that a lot of the casuals, right, you know, might get fired up by that, and that's all that matters. We need the energy. Bring the energy, you know.
It's an energy thing.
How many songs have been created ever of all time?
At least 30.
What do you mean, 30?
I'll say
at least
40.
What do you mean? I'm saying all time ever. How many songs ever?
Maybe 50.
You're
At
saying
least-
50 million?
At least there, I can guarantee you, there's at least 60 songs that have ever been made.
Mike goes, "What do you
Never
mean?
been made?
What do you mean 30?
Ever. At least 60.
Ever.
Maybe
All
more.
right. You guys are fucking trolling me. Out of all the songs in the history of the world, just get down to one.
Okay, but let me ask you a question, right? And you might not feel comfortable answering this question, you know, while we're recording. But where do you stand on Sweet Caroline at Fenway?
It's tough. I don't personally like it.
Okay.
See, okay, yeah, this is gonna make me contradict myself here, but it gets baseball's different. Okay. So I it's hard to compare the two, and people come from all over to do the Sweet Caroline thing. I don't think people are like, I gotta get to the amp to sing Taylor Swift.
You're right. That is true.
So that's my take there.
I just think that they're very similar because they're two songs that aren't that good, that have nothing to do with the sport, that are both kind of like weird songs in general, you know. Yeah. Like, I mean, they're both weird. Like, if you really actually
played Sweet Caroline yesterday at the amp, actually.
Which I like that, and I like when the band does it, because the worst part about Sweet Caroline is the lyrics. Because why are you singing about a 9-year-old girl? You know, really, like that doesn't make any sense.
Is that what the song's about?
Yeah, it's about Caroline Kennedy when she was like 8. It's a super weird song. Weird song. Anyways, I am against. So there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse when you're at Fenway and the Red Sox just got impaled in the 8th inning. They let up like 5, and it's a big game. You know, it's against the Yankees, or maybe it's September baseball, and then fucking Sweet Caroline comes on. There's nothing worse than that. Nothing worse. So I will give the amp credit, because they don't really do that like when we're getting our shit, you know, trounced. So, like, if it's a stupid song, play it when, you know, try to get the fans hype in a close game, but don't play when we're getting, like, you know, ruined.
Which is fair, but, like, unfortunately, Sweet Caroline is expected now.
Correct.
Like, that's a part of the Fenway experience. Like, you're going to get that no matter what. You came all the way from Oregon. Like, you are singing Sweet Caroline. That's, like, one of the reasons why you came to Fenway Park.
You're not wrong at all.
I think the parallels are, it's a very, especially for the home fans who, like, it's not their first time in the building, it's a very read the room situation. Like you said, if the team's getting pumped, don't play it. Just read the room, right?
Well, that's the same thing with the Wave, and even Alex Cora said that when he was on Section 10. He's like, that's one thing. It's like you're getting beat by 10, or it's a close game, and you get the woo.
Yeah,
let's do in the Wave. It's like, can we lock in? Like, I'm also not a big fan of the Wave too, so I don't know. Maybe this is me, like, grumpy old guy Mike talking here, but yeah.
The Taylor Swift thing, though, I will say, Mike, I do think when in 2022 when it was first introduced and the team was humming, I do think there were people seeking out the Dunkin' Donuts Center as like a destination for that exact thing.
Mm.
And I think that's why I'm so pro Taylor Swift, is because of the notoriety that it brings to the program, like even the casuals. And it's cool to have like a thing that's just like weird and not necessarily on brand for a college basketball game, but more so the notoriety behind it. Because I do think when it was first a thing, you saw all these big accounts posting it, and a casual college basketball fan could tell you what song is played late in the game in Little Providence, Rhode Island.
The other thing,
You know
too,
what?
is,
Oh, sorry, Leb.
no, it's okay. I was going to say the next year after that, they did the Midnight Madness, and the crowd in the Midnight Madness was basically, if you looked at the demographics, it was people that were there solely to sing Taylor Swift, genuinely, like that next year after they won. And it was like the diehard fans were kind of like pushed out, and it was all the whole crowd was just like girls, like 20-year-old girls, just singing Taylor Swift. Midnight.
Yeah.
No,
No, fair.
with that,
Like they know their audience and they love that, which is fine. I have a song which I think could be in the running. I want to play a snippet of it. I don't know if we'll get flagged on YouTube, but like whatever. A lot of I think soccer teams play this song, "Freed from Desire." Have you guys heard this?
Dude. Hell yeah.
This everybody will be jumping. This could be it.
Yeah.
Can you hear this?
Yep. Not really.
Wait for it. What?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's good. No, it's a banger. And then in Europe, right, they even changed the lyrics around a little bit to maybe fit the team. Like, you could do like Friars on Fire,
Okay.
like that,
Once that and it's a big buildup, like you start it right at the timeout, and then the buildup goes, and everyone is like singing along to it, jumping. Yeah. That could be a vibe, man. I don't know.
No, I love that song. I didn't know you knew ball like that,
dude. Let's go. We're on the same page here, lad.
I didn't know you knew.
You're talking to the Touch Tunes ambassador himself, Mike Eaming.
Dude, I've been pumping money into Touch Tunes. Maldownies, I spent like $50 the other day on Touch Tunes.
Yeah, but you guys like rap. Like I didn't know you. I didn't know you. I didn't know you liked.
I like everything. I'm a music fan. I'm 34 years old. I know stuff.
Here we go.
I know stuff. My dad's a huge music fan. He's got me hip to a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Grateful Dad.
Is that
Grateful Dad. That's what they're calling him. Stormer's getting fired up. Mac ended up coming to sit with us yesterday. We had open seats next to us, which I was surprised. We had two open, and we were going crazy in the second half. So that all worked out good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the first half, Leb, I was up in 234. It was my first 234 experience. Just some Friars sickos up there, man.
Oh yeah,
they're electric.
Oh yeah,
they're electric.
That's the bleacher creatures of Friartown, man. Like that's who you like when you see Yankee Stadium, in right field, like those guys, like that's where they are in Friartown. 234.
It was a good combination of like energy. They know the bits. They're cracking jokes. Fucking Pinnis is in the game. All you're hearing is dick jokes.
Yeah. Oh
but
yeah.
Like
they're all corny. They're all corny jokes.
But it's so funny. But it's like everyone knew ball. Like everyone was very educated about it. Like I feel like sometimes I'll sit and I'll just like kind of hear conversations around me, be like, "Oh, who's this Jason Edwards guy? Like where did he come from?" Like Dude. Or just like. Everyone up there was super knowledgeable. They were cracking jokes. I was dying. I wasn't really like mingling too much, but I was just like overhearing things. I'm like, yeah, these people know ball. They're funny.
One of my first games back in 234 was Ed Cooley's first game home. And man, I heard slurs like I never even like knew existed. You know, like it was a real like just like wolf's pit up there, dude. Like just like crazy shit. Like just insane when Cooley. Yeah, if Cooley came out with 234, Cooley probably wasn't leaving 234.
Speaking of Ed Cooley, and we were talking about Sweet Caroline earlier. Okay, I am a firm believer that going forward, when the band plays Sweet Caroline, you need to replace Bum 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 with Fuck Ed Cooley.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
I don't care if we're playing Fairleigh Dickinson or the Chicago Bulls. Like, Bum 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 needs to be Fuck Ed Cooley. Throw a little PC twist on it. You just something. They were playing it at Moonshine last night. They were playing Sweet Caroline, and just off the cuff, I'm just like, "Fuck Ed Cooley." 16 million beers deep. Like, I was like, that kind of plays. That kind of plays.
Yeah. Have you guys been paying attention to the net ranking at all? I just saw a tweet from Kevin McNamara. In 1 week, Providence went from 124 to 84, and we beat FDU and URI.
Yeah.
We started ground to make up.
Yeah. I was just going to say, we started out at 127, and now we're at 84, 43 spots. You know, it doesn't take much.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Leb, you've been the analytics guy this year. You've been pretty on top of the Ken Palm, the net. You're keeping tabs on things. Where do you stand on that? Because obviously it's a big part of the selection process.
They do call me Levy Ken Palm, you know, but at the end of the day, it's if you can't beat them, join them. And I think that this team is the if you're going to hold out hope for this team, it's not going to be looking at, you know, your old school resume, like your record against this, record against that. It's gonna be analytics. It's gonna be Ken Palm, where they are in Ken Palm, because the Ken Palm really last year was what that's what decided the tournament, the field. I mean, there's only one team inside the top 40 that got left off, Ohio State. They've had 15 losses. I've talked about it until I'm fucking blue in the face. But if you get inside the top 40 in Ken Palm, you're in pretty much for the most part, right? Maybe a couple exceptions here and there. 2 years ago, it wasn't exactly the case. St. John's got left off, but they were also the first team out of the field, right? So that's what we got to remember. Like Ohio State last year, first team left out of the field. They were in the top 40. St. John's, they were in the top 30, first team left out of the field. Get inside the top 40, and you're good. PC right now, we're at 65. I mean, what? Then I jumped 25 spots. I can do that in my sleep.
Actually, I believe they're up to 62 now overnight.
There you go.
So, yeah, and listen, you got a couple big games coming up. You know, Big East play starts in a week. You get Butler on the road. Another great opportunity. We talked about this last episode, and in a down year for the Big East, seemingly, like there's a lot of ground to make up, but the ground to make up seems manageable.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, they should beat the shit out of Brown on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They're 5-6 right now. You know, they lost to Siena, Vermont, BU, Hampton, Stony Brook, URI. But they also, their last game, I've never heard of the school before, Elms College. Brown won 115-34.
Wow.
Who the hell is Elms College and why?
That's got to be.
They're definitely not D1. That might be one of those like local, like New England D3 schools. Probably some like exhibition.
I'm looking it up. Weird. Oh, they're D3.
Jesus.
Why are they playing a D3 team at this point in the year? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Elms College.
So a lot of people are calling PC versus Brown the true battle of the Ocean State. So,
not me.
Elms College is in Chicopee, Mass.
Okay.
Brown stinks. I hate Brown. I hate Brown. I hate Bryant. Get him out of here.
Yeah,
I
get
don't
him
want
out.
to play him. I don't want to see him. URI is a respectable program. They're an A-10 program. Everyone's always got these fun takes of like, oh, this year it's the two best teams are Bryant and Brown or Bryant and URI. Like, no, dude, shut the fuck up. That is impossible. Like, you are stupid. You are dumb. Okay, it's PC and URI. Whoever wins that game is the winner of the Ocean State Clam Chowder Cup.
The Dell's Bowl.
The clam cake bowl.
Yeah.
Watch out for those anchor men. They're really fucking good this year. Like, no, dude. Sorry.
That's Leb's hometown Bryant Bulldogs too. He's talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Bryant. Fuck them.
I will say, as far as low majors go, I like rooting for Bryant. As like when they had who was the kid? He averaged like 30 a game a couple years ago.
Peter Kiss. Clown.
Peter Kiss.
C for clown.
Insane shit talker though. Like unreal.
But a loser. And he was just like his coach, Jared Grasso, another loser. Get him out of here.
They are 3-7 right now, Bryant.
Oh,
they've lost to Siena, Georgia Tech.
They lost Bartelli. You know, I mean, listen, Bryant's come a long way. You know, I used to go to Bryant games when they were in D2. You know, their first year in D1, I went to a couple Bryant games. It's just, I don't know. Bryant, to me, the program, I think that it's just, you know, they're just, they got to get lucky. And you can get lucky. It's not like you can't. I don't think that they're ever going to be, you know, respectable, in my opinion.
Brown beat him pretty good too, 75-56.
Yeah. That was at Brown. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need to schedule the true battle of the Ocean State. Providence College Friars versus Salve Regina, and finally decide once and for all who the most dominant team in Rhode Island is.
I would even say PC versus Rick.
Yeah, the Anchorman. That's what I said. See,
mm-hmm. A heck of a battle.
Listen, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Leb.
No, I respect URI. Like, I hate URI, but I respect them. You know, they're not a bad basketball program. They have a lot of history. They have a really beautiful on-campus arena. I just, you know, they got to find the right guy and they got to pull the right strings, and it'll work out there.
I'd like to go to. I've still never been on campus. I've never been to the Ryan Center. I'd like to go next year. I didn't hear much. I didn't hear a lot of shit talking yesterday. There wasn't that many URI fans around me. A lot of them were closer towards the bench, and I think the students and those people were kind of going back and forth at each other. But I didn't see too much. I don't know if you saw. I mean, you're with me for the second half, Mac, but I don't know if the first half you saw anything.
It didn't feel like, and I was talking to a couple people before the game, and with the whole scrap that happened at the end of the game last year, I was hoping there would be some sort of bad blood, make it feel like a true rivalry game. Didn't have that feel. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because both programs are like a little on the edge of their seat right now. Things are a little weird. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't feel like numbers wise or volume wise, it was heavy Rhode Island or URI crowd.
No, and yeah, for sure didn't see much, you know, within the crowd as far as, you know, people arguing or, you know, talking shit. But also, I think like with our guys too, like I think they knew it was a big rivalry game, but a lot of these guys are new. And they even asked Jameer in the post-game presser about it. He's like, I didn't really know anything about it until I got here. So, like, I don't know if they really grasped it, our guys. It's a lot of new guys. I think that's why some of those other teams, when it got nasty, it was like guys who had kind of been around for a few years and understood it a little bit more. So that could have, you know, been the reason why on the court it wasn't as nasty.
I think, like, for me, this used to be the biggest game, you know, like, hatred-wise. Like, I would just like hate losing to URI. I hated URI. Yeah. To me, like, I do hate URI, but after this game, I think I kind of realized, like, I think it's just lost a little juice for me. I have so much hate for Ed Cooley in Georgetown.
Yeah.
It's just so deep in there, and in my opinion, that is our true rival now. Just because of everything that happened. And then St. John's is kind of yucky to me too. Like I have a lot more hate for them than URI. Honestly, like I don't really hate URI. I kind of actually almost feel bad for them. Like I think they're kind of victims of this NIL thing, and I don't know.
When was the last time they won at the Dunk? I think it's been like 20 years, right?
Long time.
2001.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's like I've talked to so many URI fans. They're like, I won't go to that game. Like, there's just no chance. Like no matter what, it's just such a hard place for them to win with the crowd and everything. It's really tough.
Yeah.
I made this comparison last night. As a Alabama football fan, kind of a cross sport comparison. This is almost the Ocean State rivalry is almost our Iron Bowl in the sense that it's like battle for supremacy in the state. One team is perennially better than the other. If you're a fan of the better team, there's really nothing to gain, just everything to lose. So, and I know last year we were talking about like, we went to the Ryan Center and lost. Like, why do we even play in that building? It's horseshit. Like we're playing down to these guys. But yeah, a little Iron Bowl-esque where it's like,
yeah,
the better program is a little like, well, what do we really have to gain from this? The lower program, on the other hand, is like, let's play to be the best team in the state.
I also wish we played Boston College every year. I think that's a huge bummer that we don't do that game anymore. That was fun. I always looked forward to the BC game, even though they've been just absolutely putrid. And if we ended up losing to BC, that would be very bad right now. But
yeah,
I also miss that game being played every year. I think we should play them. I think we should play UMass. Like, I don't really see a reasoning why we don't.
So yeah, I guess my question would be, other than them being a power conference opponent, if BC is perennially shite,
you're not getting much out of the game, really.
Yeah.
Right now, that makes sense.
I'm all for BC coming here. I'm all for UMass coming here. I think URI, like, I get it. It's the entire URI basketball economy revolves around the one at PC game they get every 24 months. So, like, I'll let them have that. I'm not going to be bitter about it. I don't like going there. I think it's bad for us. But I'm out on going to BC, going to UMass. I'd like to play them, but they got to come here. There's too much risk to go to BC, and like, they treat it as kind of like a rivalry game. We don't, like, it's. I like going to Conti. It's a nice place, but man, it's just we never win there. And the one time we went to UMass, I did go to that game. I liked that game. That was good. UMass was really good. They had that one point guard. He was a tiny kid. I forgot his name.
Oh, Chaz Williams.
Chaz Williams, exactly. Yes. Thank you. That's a good pull. And we lost that game. That was a good game, though. That was a good game.
Yeah, I was at that game too. Fucking pissed. But we had that great win at BC when Reeves hit the 3 to go into overtime. That was awesome.
Yep, that was a nice game. Just a lot of risk.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
But can it get much worse? Real quick, can it get much worse? We went to fucking Colorado. I'd rather go to BC than go to fucking Colorado.
Yeah. Save us a trip across the country.
Now, actually, I kind of wanted to bring that loss back up because Colorado's sneaky in the middle of a very good season, at least by their standards. Yeah. We mentioned the the net rankings earlier. Colorado is 45th right now.
Yeah.
And, barring a massive collapse, that's a quad 1 game probably for the rest of the season, unless they go like winless in the Big 12. But, I know we thought the sky was falling after that game. And there were glaring, downsides to that game. Like the team did not look great, but at the end of the season, like that's not going to be a terrible loss.
No, it's not going to be a terrible loss. It actually, none of the losses are really going to be terrible. Virginia Tech probably will age the worst. The thing about the losses is mostly the margin of defeat that we experienced and how we felt watching those games. I mean, if this truly was a results oriented time in college basketball, a road loss to Colorado, a neutral site loss to Wisconsin, a neutral site loss to Florida, and a neutral site loss to Virginia Tech really isn't that bad. It's just the margin of those losses. Besides Tech, I mean, you're not even really competitive in like two of those games. Colorado, I mean, kind of really not that competitive. Never really like lead really ever. I feel like so.
I mean, Virginia Tech, I mean, they lost to St. Mary's and VCU. They just picked up wins against South Carolina, George Mason. So, I mean, still not horrible loss there yet. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens in the ACC. And then Penn State, hopefully they kind of catch fire to make that win, hold a little bit more water. They haven't had any really bad losses yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's definitely a team that can compete. We saw it firsthand. They have a guy who can take over games. That's a team that could easily steal a couple in the ACC, but they're not going to be, I don't think, bottom of the barrel in that conference either. So, you're just hoping Virginia Tech is middle of the pack in the ACC.
Yeah. Before we get to some of the fan stuff, I just want to say I had a just outstanding meal at Angelo's on the Hill. That's one of my favorite places. Get the meatballs and fries for a little app. Then I got a little chicken parm. I was going to go with the veal and peppers, but I didn't. I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass for it. And then I went over to Pastiche, had a delicious chocolate chip cookie and a lemon square and a coffee. So yeah, it was a nice little post game for me. Then I met up with Mac and the fellows for a beer at Moonshine. Then I was on my merry way back up to Quincy for my little post game recap.
Let me tell you, this guy Storm, he's got legs, huh? I mean, that's a long day for someone his age. I mean, he's got legs. He's going to the game at 12. Yeah. And he's getting a nice big Italian meal, and he's going to Pastiche, walking over Pastiche. Then he's going to Moonshine. Like
he didn't come to Moonshine.
Oh, okay, all right.
He didn't go to Moonshine, yeah. But he did go back to Taunton to the Italian club for the meat raffle.
There you go.
He was going to meet up with my uncle Butch. He was going to meet up with him at the meat raffle. Yeah. Those are fun.
Meat raffle with Uncle Butch sounds fucking electric. Just that's another original sentence down.
It's electric. They're fun. You guys would love them. They just they have 2 pool tables there, and they fill them up with meat. And sometimes they'll have lobsters, like as much as you can see. And you buy your raffle tickets, and they have the big fucking thing. And then the guy sticks his hand in and reads out a number. You can walk away with some big thing of steaks, man. A lot of good stuff.
On game day, Norm Eamon turns to Storm Demon.
Storm Demon. Look out.
Northeast.
He got noticed for the first time, actually. Somebody came up to him. They were like, Storm, it's the legend. He was confused. He was like, who is this guy? I was like, people know who you are. He's like, do we know this guy? I was like, no, but
that's awesome.
He's like a great kid.
That's electric.
That's awesome. The Northeast social club culture is some of the best.
It's great. Cheap beers, $2, $2.50 for a beer. Everyone's just constantly buying rounds at the bar. It's great.
That's incredible. All right, you guys want to get to? Mac, did you partake in any eating yesterday? I think I saw maybe you were at Sparrow.
Yeah, I was just looking for a quick bite to eat after the game. Went to Sparrow, got a slice of pizza. 2 slices of pizza. Avid Mind Center made a post that made it look like I had 15 pieces of pizza. That was not true. That was AI. And unfortunately, that was the only food I had pretty much all day.
Oh, jeez.
Like it was. I'm not gonna lie, boys. We're about an hour into this episode. I'm in a world of hurt right now. But
Baja's closed today or what?
you know what? They're not. But Leb, I think you just made the rest of my day.
Or you could get a Chick-fil-A sandwich for free. They missed 2 free throws.
Unfortunately, we're recording on Sunday.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was electric though. I that's one thing. We talked about the game day experience earlier. The foul shot, I don't know if there's a better way to get the crowd engaged in like a serious moment in the game
So good.
than the foul shots because dude, realistically, I don't even like redeem the free chicken sandwich every time, but I'm electric every time just for the
Yeah.
spirit of like, yeah, dude, there's something on the line.
Yeah, it's fun.
Fun.
No, that's awesome. All right, let's maybe get to
get some cues.
some questions here. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah, look for the. Do you have it?
We sent a tweet out 4 days ago. D3 Burner said, thoughts on Kim giving more minutes to Pinnis?
I
Yeah,
think he
he
needs to get in the games. I think he needs to get his feet wet. I like it.
Yeah, he did it. I mean, that was these questions were from before the URI game, so Pinnis got more minutes.
Yeah. And he does look like he's starting to come along. He looks a little more polished. Obviously, he's played overseas, but definitely looks more polished as the games go on. I was concerned it was going to be like a bonk situation where it's just like you're kind of throwing him out there and he looks like a deer in headlights. But every game that goes by, he looks a little more comfortable rebounding, handling the ball. Yeah, big Pinnis fan. Big fan of Pinnis. He was going hard yesterday. Let's see. Friar Fanta said, I like Edwards in the Bynum 6-man role. On defense, can we try a zone and just park Oswin down low to protect the rim? Might help out with rebounding as well. Pretty concerning getting out rebounded by FDU. Feels like we stay giving up offensive rebounds to everyone.
I'm against the zone personally, but I am for Edwards, 6th man. Definitely for that, but I'm against the zone.
Yeah, I agree with that. I want guys to find a body when the ball's going up in the air. Don't watch the ball. Look around, find a body, put your ass and just freaking box out. I mean, this is day one type stuff, and we see a lot of times guys are just watching the ball, and the next thing you know, a guy's coming over your back here for an offensive rebound, and they start a new possession. Those are absolutely killer for us, and we cannot afford for that to continue.
Now, Leb, do you mind if I ask why you're against a zone?
Well, if you play a 2-3 for one, I mean, you're going to get absolutely torched from 3. And number 2 is guys are not good at playing zones. I mean, it's not taught in basketball anymore. They're coming from AAU where basically you're just running around having fun, and prep school where you're not playing zone. It's I don't know if implementing a zone is a good allocation of practice time. If you could play a 3-2 zone, that would make sense because they're getting carved up from 3, but then your rebounding gets even worse. So yeah, you could fix the rebounding by playing a little bit of a 2-3 zone, sure, but you're going to give a lot more threes. And then, dude, teams know how to carve up zones. Pass, cut, pass, cut, pass, cut, boom. Like, this is the Big East. Pass, cut, zone's done. I mean, it worked for Syracuse. We're not Syracuse. We're not Jim. Jim Miller's not Jim Boeheim, and we don't recruit that way. So,
what I will say is, I'm not necessarily super far to one side or the other, zone, no zone. But what I will say is, a lot of the open threes that we're allowing are off screens and no one's switching. It's just 2 guys taking the ball handler, the guy setting the pick is wide open, butt ass naked, wide open. We talked about the communication. No one's switching on pick and rolls. Like, I think that's eliminated with a zone.
Sure.
I do agree. It's much easier to break it up, but even like if you go through 2 or 3 minute stretches where you can just go for man and like next possession get into a zone for 2 or 3 times down the court and just mix it up a little bit, because obviously like I don't think you should be married to it for 40 minutes, but I think mixing it in here and there, seeing how it works. Yeah, I don't know.
Here's the only thing I'll say. All right, the reason we're getting carved up with the pick and rolls is not because the team is incapable of guarding the pick and roll. It's because they are having mental lapses when that happens. So you're asking a team to now think more on defense in a zone. I know people think, okay, this is just my zone. I'm just gonna cover it. But like it's really like you do have to play a team defense with a zone. You're basically one cohesive unit. And this team is on defense has been anything but that. So I think that'd be hard for this team, personally.
Just gotta follow the 3 C's if you want to be cohesive.
Yeah.
You have to be on the same page. And I think that's why, and like you guys just said it, that's why a lot of these wide open threes continue to happen. And they end up missing a good amount of wide open threes in that second half yesterday too. They were still getting open looks, and that's just very, very frustrating for that to continue to happen. But we'll see what happens going forward. But I thought they took a step in the right direction yesterday.
Yeah.
Goes to 2020 Friars and Air Fryer. Both sneaky foreshadowed the Duncan Powell return. Air Fryer said, we've desperately missed a good Shagman or any power forward. And Goes to 2020 Friars said, healthy Shagman could be the key. Very next game, Shagman's back. The team looks sensational in the second half and when he's on the court. Leb, I need help with the pronunciation of this one. You're going to know exactly what I'm saying as I'm going to start pronouncing it. A pessimistic cest. Did I get that right?
Yeah, no, that's what it is. You did get it right. I always thought it was pessimistic, but it's not. It's pessimistic or pessimistic? Yeah, no, pessimistic.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that means. That's just way too big brain for me. But
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's out of my pay grade.
What did he say?
Anyway, a pessimistic cest said body language and Edwards' response to being benched in San Diego during last night's presser sucked. It will get worse quick if the L's stack up. We touched lightly on Edwards' body language last episode, right?
Yeah,
we did.
I agree with his statement, though.
What's that?
With what he said, I agree with what he said.
What, that he's going to do whatever the coach says?
Oh, no, I'm talking about what the tweet said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
The losses, when the losses stack up, it'll get worse.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, winning cures all.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just win. And everyone's going to be happy, and he's going to continue to contribute. I think he might just need to kind of get used to this kind of Bynum 6-man role. Worked out pretty good for Jared Bynum. I mean, So I think his body language was good yesterday too, Edwards.
Definitely. Yeah. Speaking of post-game pressers that cause waves, what are your guys' thoughts on the Stefan Vaaks comment yesterday? Because I think we saw some mixed reviews from what Vaaks had to say.
Tough. I don't know. I didn't like it. I love Steph Vaaks. If I'm just being completely honest here, these guys are getting paid now. That was a just horrible, abysmal start to the game on the national stage, sold out crowd. Just mental lapses, nobody playing defense, turning the ball over 14-2. This is a crazy, passionate fan base. I don't think we would be who we were if we didn't boo like that. And this is just so hard. This is hard for me to say because I love Vaaks. He's awesome. But I just didn't love that, and I thought it was good that Kim kind of stepped in immediately and was just like, "They love you, dude." Like they were booing me. Like, don't worry about it. And I did like how Vaaks was then like, "Well, we're one. We're a team." I love that. But I wasn't thrilled to hear that kind of like getting on the fans for the booing. I don't know. Tough one for me to kind of say because I like the guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely out of his depth with this one, you know. But I think that it's just probably coming from a place of emotion. You know, I think this team has had a lot of emotions over the first month, and I think that yesterday was an emotional day. And I think that they see, you know, the fan base and how they are. And at the end of the day, right, this whole thing is emotion. Like the reason that Vaaks is reacting like that is because of emotion. The reason why the fan base is booing is because of emotion. Like it's just human emotions at the end of the day. And I really don't think that, you know, he's just a kid from Estonia who doesn't really know, like, you know, how it kind of works. Like, I don't really think like it's, you know, it's that big of a deal, but I did like him, you know, backing up his coach. And I think that he probably has a really good relationship with Kim, you know? I mean, why wouldn't he? Kim's given him every opportunity to be in the NBA next year, and there's a good chance he could be, you know? So, yeah.
And it looked like it worked too. I mean, you ended up getting booed going to the timeout, and then you come back out, and then you get right back into the game, and you hit 4 threes. So it kind of looked like we lit a bit of a fire under his ass.
Dude,
Yeah,
he came out scorching.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want us to cheer when we're down 14-2?
Right. It's like, you think these people are going to be quiet? Like, this isn't, you know, BC. Like, no one, I mean, like, this isn't, that's not what this fan base is. And no, booing is fine, but obviously you don't want anyone saying anything mean to the players. Like, we can't be doing that. But I think a boo on a 14-2 run against your in-state rival, I think that's warranted.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the building, so I'm glad I won't get blamed.
No, what would you have done though? You don't seem like a booer though.
Oh, I was booing my ass off when they were against UNH. I was standing up booing. I was throwing fucking tomatoes. Yeah. First half against UNH, and then they came out and had their best half of the season. But,
right?
Yeah, dude, no. If they deserve it, genuinely, last year against Xavier, this year against UNH, probably the only 2 times that I've really stood up and booed. Fucking booed. Like,
yeah. People care too much. Like, people, like, this is people's, not our lives, but like people care a lot about this stuff, and we just want the best. And people in the Northeast are just, you know, people are tough up here. So
I don't blame fans for booing. I booed as well. Hand up. I think it's warranted, but I also see Vaks's point of view on the whole thing. Like, we're all one. Like, if you're booing our coach, you're booing all of us. But from a fan's perspective, like, that's not a product you want to see on the court. I do like the Vaaks going to bat for Kim, and, you know, props to Kim for taking ownership of that, because he knew what was going on, and he's aware, and owned up to it. I see both sides. I think it's warranted, but I also like the move of Vaaks kind of going to bat for Kim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Stefan Vaaks, NBA, said too much negativity from PC fans lately, so I felt I had to make an account on here. This roster is still so fucking talented, man. They just need their best players to play the lion's share of minutes. More Sellers, Vaaks, Edwards, and Mila, less Corey Floyd. Corey was great yesterday. I got no complaints about Corey Floyd, but the rest of his statement is relatively true. Yeah.
It's a great Twitter handle, by the way. Just Stefan Vaaks NBA.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
This account is a little peculiar to me, but that's okay.
Why's that?
I don't know. I don't want to replace this hard hat with a tinfoil hat, but
okay, fair. Listen, man.
If you look at the when it was made and what they're saying and how they're articulating and their tweets and the spreadsheet of the minutes, this to me screams like this is an inside job. But I mean, they're gonna be out there. They're gonna be out there.
Mhm. I think Corey Floyd was mentioned in that tweet. He's another one of those guys where I feel like it's very matchup dependent because we've seen flashes and then we've seen other games where the matchup isn't really in his favor too much, some slow nights, and not because he looks bad, but it's just like what they're throwing at you defensively. Like you can't really get much going. So your Ryan Milas, your Jameer Joneses, your Corey Floyds, like some of these guys, like it's very matchup dependent, and we have a embarrassment of riches as far as talent's concerned, and you can afford to be like, hey man, you're either going to play 6 minutes or 26 minutes. We're just going to figure it out as the game goes along.
And I don't think Mela and Floyd should be on the floor at the same time.
Agreed.
I think both of them are kind of struggling shooting the ball, and I think both of them are kind of taking away some of that offensive firepower from you when they're on the floor at the same time. And I think Mela is going to be big for you on the defensive end, hopefully rebounding too. But sometimes when he's got the ball in his hands, especially late in the shot clock, and he tries to put the ball on the floor, it could get kind of messy. So you hope to see less of that. But yeah.
The idea that Ryan Mila should be ahead of Corey Floyd in the depth chart is honestly one that I'm probably not for. Like, I think they're similar players. They do similar things, but I think that Floyd is just a better 3-point shooter. And I think he's a little more of a vocal leader out there. If Ryan Mila isn't hitting threes, open threes, wide open threes. I'm not saying he needs to, shoot like Vaaks, but if he can't hit a wide open three and he's struggling getting to the basket against some of these bigger teams, which he will, then there's really not that much of a use for him playing like 28 minutes a game. Like, I think maybe he'd be better off like in a role player with like half of those minutes. I think Ryan Mila is a good player. He's a sophomore. I think he's going to grow. I think he's going to, get better and better and better. Hopefully he develops a little bit of a shot. Hopefully, he gets a little bit of better ball handling. I think he's a really good player, but I honestly don't think he's a Big East starter personally. I think that he's shown flashes against some of these, cupcake teams where he can dominate, that are as favorable, like Max said, right? Playing the matchup game. We might have a game against like Brown, might be a Ryan Mila game, right? But when you're playing St. John's, like how much do you want Ryan Mila on the floor? Do you want him 26, 27 minutes? Or do you want him like 12, 13?
No, for sure. Rough game for Ryan yesterday. We've talked about in the past, like this season, Ryan Mila being old reliable. But he was minus 20 in a game you won by 19.
Yeah.
That's an insane gap. And not to say plus minus tells the entire story by any means, but I mean, that gap that's a 39-point swing with Ryan Mila on the court.
Yeah. Catherine said the most important game is the next game. So what's the lineup / rotation / tempo to beat URI? I have my thoughts, but I'll keep them to myself for the moment. We didn't get to this one, obviously, before the URI game, but yeah, I mean, the kind of question was answered, right? I think that they had kind of a new 5 to rely on and hang their hat on, and I liked it, and it worked out really well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Kim does here with these rotations going forward. I think getting Powell back into the lineup, I think opens things up a ton for him. So I think it'll be very interesting, especially going into Big East play, Butler, Seton Hall, to kind of see what lineup he rolls out there, because you got to win these Big East games and you can't really be messing around anymore with like, I'll try this out, maybe I'll try this rotation here. Like if you got guys that are playing good, leave them in the game unless they're just like
Mhm.
dog shit tired and they just can't get up and down the court anymore. Like if something's working, just keep riding it. And I really hope to see Jones start. This kid is such a player. I mean, I need more minutes for Jones.
Yeah. I will say, though, yesterday was the first game where he displayed like true Division I basketball competence. I think that he had shown flashes of being so great and being able to do so many things that we don't typically see. But I think there were times where he was a little bit of a detriment to the team leading up to this game. Yesterday, though, he was, in my opinion, I thought he was the best player on the floor. And I think he can be.
When I was watching the replay, the game that we put on the Divine page when he kind of like lost control of the ball, picked it back up and slammed it. Greg Anthony was just like, whoa. He's like, I didn't see that coming. So I think on a national stage, a lot of people opened their eyes and were like, holy shit. In Vaaks too. I think a lot of people didn't know about Vaaks or Jones before yesterday, but they're on notice. And there's going to be a lot more of these games coming on national television, and they're going to put on a show.
So I mean that Vaaks sequence was insane.
It's great.
I had a tweet about it. I think I've watched that sequence a million times in the last like 12 hours. It's
crazy.
just, I mean, unreal. And that's like basketball, for better or for worse, is a highlight based sport. And that's the type of shit that like gets you a lot of, notoriety. I mean, Vaaks is obviously on draft horizons, but like something like that is like, okay, well, let's start paying attention to this kid. And yeah, you love that your freshmen are looking like they look like studs. Jameer is not necessarily polished, especially not as polished as Vaaks, but the raw talent and athleticism's there. It's just stuff you're born with.
And we haven't even talked much about Sellers either, but 14 points for him in 30 minutes, 4 for 5 from the field. He was 2 for 3 from 3, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 10 boards. I think I also think he leads the Big East in free throw percentage too, if I'm not mistaken. But
89%.
This guy's just solid. Yeah. I love this guy. I'm so glad he's on our team.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're going to turn this season around, I think you got to have a dynamic duo of Sellers and Vaaks at the front, right? That's your two-headed monster. Sellers and Vaaks. Edwards coming off the bench, give you instant offense, hit that second unit like, they don't even know what hit him. And then you got Jameer Jones kind of just filling that role of playing a little more freestyle on offense, doing what he needs to do, getting out in transition, hammering the ball. I think this team could have it, man. This team could have it.
Mm-hmm.
And very interested to see what Kim's starting five is going to be on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I mean, this team they have a very good opportunity to hit their stride heading into 2026. Big rivalry win. You win by 20 points. You obviously buy a game in between, but now you're going on the road to Butler next weekend. Couple interesting matchups that might not seem big on paper, but Butler and Seton Hall are your first two Big East games, and they're definitely exceeding expectations, both of them this season.
Yeah.
So, you could hit your stride. We talked about before, this is a team that's already battle tested. It's like I said, we could be singing a different tune in a couple weeks, and I'm very excited to kind of get Big East play underway because this is probably the last time we'll record before Big East play actually kicks off. Good opportunity to, stack some quality wins and kind of flip the narrative right around Christmas time.
Yeah. And tomorrow, big day for our friend Leb here. We wish you nothing but the best tomorrow. We're going to be thinking about you all day. So can't wait to talk to you once it's all done.
Much appreciated. Looking forward to get on the road to recovery and, getting my life back a little bit. And it's going to be an interesting few weeks, but we're going to battle through it and we'll, hopefully be better for it at the end of the month.
Very happy for you. I was talking to my parents this morning. I was like, recording today. Leb's got his operation. They wanted me to extend their no, maybe that's not the right phrase. Anyway, my parents said good luck.
Yeah, I get it.
Mama Max said a couple prayers for you and your mom today. So
That's awesome. That was great to meet your parents and great people. I really appreciate it. So, it's a few nerves. I'm a little nervous today, but it's it's good at the end of the day. The alternative is just no life at all. So it's good, man.
This is like we were saying before, like this is the finish line. You just got to cross it. The ribbon's right there. You just got to break the ribbon, and you're just going to be across the finish line tomorrow. It's going to be all over, and it's going to be a smooth road to recovery. And I can't wait till that first game when you're back at the Amica Mutual Pavilion with all your buds.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm hoping that it can be the UConn game, January 7th. That's a full month. They recommend, kind of being relatively isolated for a full month. I got to live my life, so I'm gonna see how I feel. I'll talk to them and not gonna make any rash decisions, but I'm hoping that we can get back there January 7th.
Need it.
Awesome.
I know Mac will be busy the day prior, January 6th.
Okay. Yeah, my dog's birthday. We've been over this.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, mark your calendars, January 7th. Leb's first time in the building with the new kidney.
He's got to be on the floor, right?
Oh yeah, we gotta make some calls.
Needs to be on the jumbotron during a timeout. We need a freaking standing ovation.
Post kidney.
He fucking deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. I don't need any of that. I'll take a Friars W. That's all I want. January 7th. I'll take a Friars.
But you deserve it. You go to bat for the program. You try to spread the good word of the program. You're a great fan. You're a positive fan. You're a level-headed fan. You're a good person.
Thank you.
And everyone is in your corner, brother. So
means a lot.
You deserve all of that praise once you're back. You really do.
Means a lot. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I second everything Mike just said. I'm hitting the phones the second this episode ends. We're getting Leb on the floor.
Yeah, we have to.
All right. Well, hey, if you get me on the floor, I'll accept. Maybe make a couple calls to the Coletta family. We'll see.
Get your ass down.
Not necessary though. As long as everyone knows that it's not necessary. And some people I see people all the time, like some people are commenting on Facebook and I see on Twitter a lot, like, can people donate to me? Like, I don't ask any money of anyone. Just just good vibes, and we'll I'll see you back there pretty soon.
Can't wait, brother.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait.
All right. You guys got anything else, or you want to end it on that note?
It's on a high note. I'm feeling good about you tomorrow, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Good vibes all around.
I feel good.
Hopefully at this, hour and a half took your mind off things a little bit. We had some fun here.
Yeah. I it did. And it's always in the back of my mind, but it's like it's a nervous, positive energy. It's not dread. It's not dread,
It's crazy. Sometimes when I get if I'll get nervous or anxiety about something, or I've always had this thing with giving blood. I've always fucking hated it. And I will literally sit there and watch old Providence games to take my mind off of it. And I'll be
awesome.
and I feel familiar. And I'll make sure it's a game at the amp, and I'll just sit there and look at my phone, and it'll take my mind. And that's what this team, means to people. I don't know if anyone else does anything like that, where they're giving blood or they're feeling some type of way. But
I tell you how many old fucking Red Sox and Friar moments have gotten me through tough times. You just, absolutely, 100%.
That's awesome.
All right, but I'm gonna go.
All right.
I appreciate it. Go Friars. Let's get a W against Brown. And beat Brown until they're purple.
Yeah.
Happy National Kidney Day to all who celebrate. Was it December 8th?
Yeah, December 8th, man.
December 8th. National Kidney Day.
National Kidney Day, National Leb Day. Wishing you nothing but the best, my friend, in a speedy recovery. And as always, go Friars.
Go Friars.
Go Friars.